Welcome to the Commercial Solar Overview, Lesson 3. Today we're going to go over solar design and aesthetics of a commercial property. Today's objectives. Today we're going to go over the solar structural design options, how we meet the property aesthetics, and how we also build out a max design to meet the offset and budget considerations of the individual commercial property. These are the most popular design considerations when you're looking at a commercial property. We're looking at flush mount designs. We're looking at solar ballast roof mounts. These are flat roofs. We go over ground mount designs. Do they have available space on the property, available land to be able to build ground mounts? Solar carports. Do they have parking space on the site? We can design carports. Single pole mounts. This is another customized design consideration for properties that may not have the space to build out a full ground mount, but they have single pole mounts. We're going to go through every one of these design considerations through this presentation. Let's look at our first design consideration. This is a flush roof mount design. Why is it flush? It's because the panels are setting up against the roof. There's a very small, call it 2 to 4 inches space between the roof and the panels. This is different than the ballast design that we're going to get into next, but wanted you to see some recent projects that our team has designed and we've partnered with electrical contractors to build. These are standing seam metal roofs. These are fantastic. These are all over the country. You're going to see, and just so you know, we call it a standing seam metal roof. When you're looking at the building like a warehouse or call it a barn or a Morton style building on an agriculture property, this is the type of roof that has a standing seam. We can build a flush design, and you can see how each one of these projects were designed. They're both maximized on the roof, and they're a beautiful addition to the roof. The great thing is we use an S5 clamp. Definitely do a Google search on S5 clamp if you'd like to understand how we do attach to the roof. I won't get into that in great detail. There's also a Unirac product. There's many other ways that we can attach to these. Our install partners will dictate the best attachment for the property, but I wanted to go over today the design considerations. This is a great design. This is all over your market, and this will be a very successful project for you. Now let's share what a design looks like. When you get your working model plan, we're going to include a drawing of the project. And so this is an example of a drawing. We're using the software to be able to do this. And so our goal is to show the aesthetics of the property. What's the best design? You could see on this, we're making the assumption that this is a standing seam metal roof, which means there's a tilt of the roof. It's not flat, but there's a tilt of this roof. And so we're making that assumption in this drawing that we're going to attach to the roof as a flush mount design. Our designers are going to look at the individual project and make the determination on the best design based on the utility data, based on the design of the property. Lean on us to take care of this. Our goal is to show the aesthetics, to show how much of a system we can get on that roof. And this is a great example of a flush roof mount. We're next going to go into some additional designs. Okay, now we're going to get into the second design consideration. These are great projects, flat roofs all over your local market. This particular project is a ballast design on an electrical contractor's roof that we built. This is a 40 kW system. It was built on the electrical contractor's roof. You can see beautiful flat roof. This is a new roof, so it ended up being a great project. Why is it called ballast? These are weighted down designs, and so there are no roof penetrations on this roof. And so you can see the ballast blocks in the first design on the bottom left. The second one, these are containers that actually hold the panels then as well, and there are ballast blocks as well. Highly recommend you going into doing a Google search and getting to know a ballast design. These are the flat roofs. These are beautiful projects, very successful projects, Any flat roof you see, this is the design we're going to go after. These are the working models then you're going to get in your solar site design plan. This is a ballast drawing. This is going to give you a really good idea on what is the max potential on that commercial roof. So our design team is looking at the roof. We're also considering the obstructions, and this is something very important that we've gone through in the earlier training modules. The overhead units, the HVAC units, the piping, those need to be taken into consideration. Um, this is a reason that we have to do the early design work on these projects, because every roof has its own characteristics, has its own obstacles. Our goal is to show the max potential of the site. In the upper right hand corner, this is a project we built in Indianapolis. This is a 100 kW project. You could actually go into go into Google Satellite and do searches now on these properties and see exactly what that real-time system looks like on that roof. That's a 100 kW system. This is a solar ballast design. Every flat roof in the nation is going to have the opportunity to build a project like this. Okay, team, now we're getting into the big projects. These are ground mounts. Does the commercial or industrial property have land available around it? If so, let's look at ground mounts. These are great projects. Why do we like ground mounts? For one, we can optimize the ground mounts to the Tilton azimuth, so we can get the maximum potential, the max placement of that system. I want to show you two beautiful projects that we built. On the first one on the bottom left, that is an industrial property, a manufacturer. They actually manufacture stoves, commercial ovens at this property. The roof was not the best type of roof for us to be able to attach to, but they have available ground mount space available just south of the property. That was a perfect place for us to build a ground mount. In fact, this is a brown field, which means they were not able to, they could not build on top of this, but they then decided to add solar to this piece of land. This is a 200 kW solar project. This is around 800 panels. It's going to offset over 30% of this commercial plant's usage. This was a great property, very successful project. Now in the upper right, this is at a private academy. This is another ground mount design that the school has a lot of land. This was very close to the football field. Another example of being able to utilize land that was basically sitting without anything on it. This school has built a 200 kW, is making money now on this property. Is it not only producing energy savings, but they've got this ground mount that is able to really make an impact for the community. They're very proud of this. It got a lot of attention. It's been featured in the local newspaper. The kids have a way to monitor this ground mount then, and it's a very successful project. So ground mounts are a fantastic addition to any commercial or industrial property. Wanted to show you as well, this is from a working model. This is a project that we're working on this year on an industrial manufacturer actually manufacturing veterinary products on this manufacturing plant. They have decided to move forward with a 348 kW project. This is a ground mount. This is also south of the property. This is going to be a great project that is going to make an impact in the local community. Now you can see in our early drawings, we had to do the placement so that we didn't have shading of the property. We do not recommend cutting down trees, but there is consideration on this property that they may have to cut down some trees, but we're going to show that in the early working model. We're going to do our best to place this system for the best consideration, the best placement of the property. There's going to be a direct tie-in to this plant, and they're going to be offsetting most of their power usage with this 348 kW. All right, drive down the main roads across all of your area, and what do you see on retail centers and in office parks? You see a ton of parking lots. Parking lots are going to be a very important feature for solar integration of what we call solar carports. There are costs to the solar carports, and so as you know, there's a lot of structural, a lot of steel, but these are great systems. In fact, this is a project that we built on a hospital. This is a carport. This is in the Texas market. And you can get an idea on the impact of a carport. So not only is it shading the property, but you're also utilizing space that would not be able to be monetized. And so these are great projects. Long term, we have driven down the costs of carports considerably. This is going to make more and more an impact across the U.S. You are going to see more and more carports. But like I said, we are going to have to look at the roof first, or they have available ground mount space, and then we can also look at carport designs. These would be great projects for the long term. Look at all these carports. This is a great example of a property that they are going to be prime for carports. The roof, as you can see, is covered in HVAC units. Going to be very difficult to work on the roof. We can put some solar up there, but it's not going to be the best option. But look at the amount of carport space on this property. This is a great example of what we're going to go after long term and make an impact with solar carports. Okay, number 5, this is a single pole mount design. You're not going to see these out on every property, but if there is design considerations that we have to take into account, these are great projects. In fact, you'll see these on parks where there may not be the best terrain to do a normal ground mount design. We can go with a single pole mount. So each one of these is going to be about 3 to 5 kW a piece, but we can add these as modular designs. And so this is a project we built in the past. It's a great design. A lot of people like them. And I believe over the long term, as the price of solar continues to go down, people are going to like the aesthetics. They're going to see it as an emblem, as a mark of a environmentally conscious business. These are a great example. These really stand out. And we've gotten some great compliments for this design as well. So definitely look at each one of these designs as an option. When you're inputting the project into Solar Site Design, let us know. Show the customer these different designs or bring them to the table and see what they like, because a lot of people may want this type of look on their property. We'd be glad to do that design. So give us good notes. Let your design team know what is going to make the customer happy, and we'll put the working models around that plan. This is the back of the single pole mount. So I wanted to give you another idea on the aesthetics of the pole mount. This will give you a really good idea. In closing, if you have any questions, please reach out to Solar Site Design. Another very important source, and I'll say it over again, do a Google search on these designs. There are unbelievable designs. We learn a lot ourselves by going into Google and really looking at these different design standards, the ballast designs. Do a Google search and look to see how other companies are doing these. That's going to really help you out and sharpen your sword on learning what the design considerations are. Thanks a lot for your time in learning this. We're here to help you, and good luck out there.